Laptops in 2025 have been taking off to another level. It's becoming possible to get the same kind of gaming and productivity performance on the go as you would expect from sitting at home on a PC setup. And as someone who games and creates a lot both at home and out and about, that's exactly what I want to see. And it's not just me that wants to see laptops pushing the boundaries of what's possible. OMEN are looking to elevate themselves to become a top tier brand when it comes to laptop performance. And today we're not only going to be looking at one of their latest devices, but one that is actually their most powerful laptop to date. So we're going to put it through its paces and see exactly what we can achieve with it. Let's dive in. So OMEN are looking to push their laptops further than ever before, and this one promises to do just that. This is the HP OMEN Max 16, and I actually had a chance to briefly try out one of these a little while back, and I made some short form content on the capabilities for gaming, content creation, and more. And from what I tried of it, I was pretty impressed with the performance I was able to get out of it in pretty much all aspects, but I didn't really get fully in depth with things. So that's the aim of the video today. The OMEN Max 16 comes packing the latest and greatest in hardware and software to make sure that no matter what you're planning to use this for, this laptop aims to deliver the ultimate in performance and enable you to achieve everything you want and need with no issue. So before we get into the nitty-gritty testing of the laptop, let's talk about the specs the OMEN Max 16 is rocking. So this particular configuration features an Nvidia GeForce RTX 5080 laptop GPU paired with an AMD Ryzen AI9 HX375 processor. It also comes with 32GB of DDR5 5600 megatransfers RAM and a 1TB PCIe Gen 4 NVMe M.2 SSD, but you can also get up to a 2TB version if you want the extra storage. Screen-wise, the OMEN Max 16 features a 16-inch WQXGA 2560 by 1600 IPS display with a 240Hz refresh rate and a 3 millisecond response time, so this is going to be perfect for high-end gaming. And you can't escape the gamer vibes with the ultra vibrant per key RGB keyboard complete with ambient RGB light bar. You also get a 1080p webcam complete with privacy cover, dual DTS-X ultra speakers with HP audio boost for crisp audio quality, and an 83 watt-hour battery for those long gaming sessions. Connectivity wise, the Max 16 has two USB Type A ports, two USB-C ports, a HDMI 2.1 port, 3.5mm headphone microphone combo jack, LAN port, and it comes with Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4 connectivity. The Max 16 packs OMEN's Tempest Cooling Pro, which utilizes space between the fans and also the motherboard and keyboard to allow more space for airflow within the laptop, whilst also simultaneously reducing the gap between components, heat sinks, and thermal vents, meaning the internal vapor chamber and heat pipe design doesn't have to work as hard to expel heat, keeping temps down and the noise too. It also includes OMEN's new liquid metal hybrid material, which mixes gallium, indium, and silicon to not only produce great heat dissipation, but also reduce the likelihood of leaks, prolonging the longevity of the device. So that's all of the hardcore hardware talk out of the way. But that's not the end of the features that the Max 16 has to offer. With the Nvidia 50 series Blackwell graphics, you're getting all kinds of advancements to further your gaming and creativity, which are what we'll be looking at to test the performance today. DLSS 4 and multi-frame generation capabilities help to push game performance further than ever, and with the 240Hz refresh rate the Max 16 screen packs, this translates to lovely smooth and fluid gameplay throughout, which is up there with what some of the PC setups out there can produce. There's full ray tracing and path tracing to deliver much more realistic and high quality lighting, reflection, shadows, and global illumination in game to enhance the sense of realism. And we'll see all of that in action shortly as we put this laptop through its paces. For the games that we're going to be testing on here, we want to try and get the best in terms of both frame rate performance, but also showcase graphics quality as well, and see what kind of trade-off there might be between the two. I've been playing a lot of Doom: The Dark Ages recently, and it's a great game to test not only from the performance side, but also because it's just a lot of fun. But the great thing with this game is that it supports all the latest Nvidia settings that we've just mentioned. So we have DLSS 4, multi-frame generation, path tracing, ray tracing, etc. And that means we can check out what kind of performance and quality we get both with these turned off and on. I've loaded up the game and currently we have everything turned off and just the basic settings. Graphics wise, we've got everything set to ultra so we can get the best looking experience possible and to see what kind of frame rates we get. And as you can see, performance wise, we're currently getting around 60 FPS, which of course is not quite what we're wanting to play in. So now we're going to jump in and turn on DLSS Super Resolution and set it to performance. And now back in game, as you can see, we're now getting around 80 FPS. But now we're going to switch on DLSS multi-frame generation and see what that does to the frame rate. And as expected, we're now getting a much nicer and smoother experience with the frame rate up around 180 FPS, which is a much better level and just looks noticeably better to the eye as well. But there's still more we can do to improve the experience further. The latest update to the game added support for path tracing, so now we're going to turn that on and see the improvements it makes to the look of the game. And straight away, I can see a noticeable difference in quality. It might be harder to see on camera, so we have the side-by-side here for you to see the differences switching this on has made. So now we're getting a nice smooth frame rate in game and absolute beautiful visuals at the same time, which is exactly what we want as gamers. Now let's do the same thing in another game. This time we're going to test it in FBC Firebreak. So again, we'll do the same thing. Currently all of the DLSS, ray tracing, etc. are turned off, and we have the graphics settings maxed out. And jumping in game, we're currently getting a frame rate around 75 FPS. So now we'll set DLSS Super Resolution to performance and see what that does to the numbers we get. And as you can see, we're now seeing around 120 FPS frame rate instead. And then finally, we'll turn on 4x multi-frame generation and give it another go. And now you can see that we're getting that noticeably smoother 300 FPS frame rate instead. Now we're going to turn on ray tracing and ray reconstruction to see the difference it makes to the quality of the visuals. And again, this has given it a noticeably better overall look. So we're seeing some great performance and great visuals from these games. And this laptop is able to produce that nice and easily, meaning that we can enjoy this high-end gaming experience on the go. But it's not just all about frame rate and graphics. What if you're a competitive FPS gamer and you need good system latency to optimize your performance? Well, with Nvidia Reflex, you're able to get optimal responsiveness to help you in those fast-paced games where speed can make all the difference. Now, I'll admit it doesn't really matter to me personally from a gaming performance perspective, because it'll take a bit more than lower latency to fix my gaming ability problems. But it's still worth checking out for those of you whom this is important to. So currently we have Marvel Rivals loaded up and Nvidia Reflex is turned off. As you can see up here, the current system latency we're getting in game. So now let's see what kind of difference we can get by turning Nvidia Reflex features on and monitor the latency. And as you can see, that's made a significant difference to the latency. And for someone who is more able than me, this could make all the difference. And again, remember we're doing all of this on a laptop, so you can take this anywhere and enjoy this level of performance no matter where you go. Now, checking out some of the other features that this laptop has, I want to quickly talk about this keyboard. Laptop keyboards aren't usually all that good. They just exists. But I am a big fan of the keyboard on this laptop. The diffusion around the edges of the keycaps looks so clean and allows you to get this beautiful bright and colourful lighting without having awful hotspots. The keys themselves also feel really nice and smooth with a slight tactile bump, which is really pleasant to type on. Honestly, I would gladly just sit here and type out a load of stuff for the sake of it. Now, the OMEN Max 16 does have another trick up its sleeve to make sure you're always getting the best performance when gaming, and that's the OMEN Gaming Hub. In here we can see features such as OMEN AI, which basically does all the work for you to make sure that your system is fully optimized. With a single click, it will analyze your system and then automatically apply the optimal system settings to give you the best possible performance. You also have access to what OMEN calls Unleashed mode, which essentially unlocks extra power from your laptop without having to change a bunch of different and complicated settings, taking it past the normal limits that you would see out of the box. And again, this allows you to maximize the level of performance that you're able to get from the laptop when gaming or doing anything really. So overall then, how worth it is the OMEN Max 16 laptop? Well, I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the performance here. We've seen the capabilities the laptop has when it comes to hardcore gaming and pushing the limits of what can be achieved. The combination of Nvidia 50 series laptop graphics, high-end processor, features like DLSS 4, path tracing, OMEN AI, all of it comes together to provide you with a really quite fantastic gaming experience for a laptop that can rival some PC setups. Plus, you can factor in that the laptop itself looks really nice, and the overall experience has really impressed me a lot. I'd gladly take this as my daily driver, and I kind of wish I'd had this with me recently while I was at Gamescom. I've actually got some more events coming up, so I reckon this might have to come with me. For those interested, by the way, this exact configuration of the OMEN Max 16 is currently going for £2,599.99 on the HP website, so it's certainly on the premium side price-wise, but as you've seen, it's definitely slightly on the premium side performance wise. As always, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. So if you have any thoughts or questions about the laptop or anything from today's video, drop those down in the comments for me to check out. And if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to let the algorithm know by hitting that like button. And if that new hype feature I've been hearing a lot about is available on this video, then show some love to that as well. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed, then why the heck not? If you want to keep up with all the incoming videos I've got, then make sure to hit that button. I'll be back with another video very soon, so I'll see you there. Catch you later.